Good afternoon, people of Blackburn. Now, you're probably wondering, what on earth is this guy doing, stood on a box, chatting away to people? Well, I'm doing it because what I've got to say, you won't hear anywhere else. You won't hear it if you switch on the TV. You won't hear it in the schools, because the schools aren't teaching this anymore. It's not allowed to be taught, really. And you won't hear it even going to some churches. You're seeing some churches and you still won't hear this. So what is it? It's the message, the true gospel, what I'm giving you today. I wonder, have you heard it? Has anyone heard the true gospel? Because I've got a message which a lot of people don't like. A few people, it turns them off. They don't like the fact that what I'm about to say is exclusive. Okay? We've got some people walking past today and we've got all kinds of different ideas about who Jesus is. Who do you think Jesus is, sir? Any ideas? He doesn't know. Do you know, madam, who Jesus is? Lots of people have lots of interesting ideas about Jesus. Some people think he didn't even exist. That's ridiculous, okay? If you went to become a historian and you asked that question, they'd say, and you answered it that way and said, I don't think it existed, they'd say, you're talking nonsense and you won't get the job. But I wonder, what about you, sir? Blackburn Rovers fan? Okay, did they win last night? They didn't play last night. Have they won recently, though? No, okay, unlucky. At least you're not a Luton Town fan. Imagine how gutted you'd be if you were supporting Luton Town. Yesterday they were 3-0 up at half time and then they ended up losing 4-3. Only the third side to ever, Bournemouth, the only third side to ever come back from being 3-0 down at half time and win. Anybody know who the other two teams are in the Premier League? It's Wolves and Man United. Do you know what Alex Ferguson said at half time when they were 3-0 down to Spurs? He just said to them, lads, it's Spurs. Bit disrespectful, that, innit? But they went out there and thought, yeah, it's only Spurs. Spurs will just be Spursy. We can win this game. They went out and won 5-3. But, you know, people say disrespectful things like that all the time, like Alex Ferguson did to the Tottenham Hotspur team. But, you know, the point is, I've got to say something today that some people would think is disrespectful. And it's that Jesus is the only way to heaven. What do you think about that, madam?
No, I'm not seeing it, you see, because I reckon if you got a Mustang, you could get to heaven on that as well.
Well, yeah, maybe a rocket, maybe, but up into the sky, the heavens. But I don't know about a Mustang. Why do you think a Mustang?
I don't know. It's first time depends, man. I think it depends on what you feel and what you think, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, and that's what it's. Well, it's not just what you feel and what you think. It's what it says in God's word.
But who made that book? See, who wrote it?
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John wrote the Gospels. They were just guys, absolutely right. They were just guys, but they were guys who walked and talked with Jesus. Now, we've not been able to do that. So my opinion, your opinion, doesn't matter as much as their opinion, does it? Because they were with him, they saw him.
Yeah, but do we have any evidence of that? We don't, do we?
We have. We've got like other people. I mean, what do you want as evidence? Like people who weren't actual Christians and what they said about it? Because they've got a different opinion.
Don't get me wrong. I think there is something up there and we're going to go to that great place where we all shuffle off the plate. But I do take issue with the fact that we're only taking the word of some guys that sat around and then wrote a book, and all us here on this planet now, there's not a single person that was ever around in them days. And, you know, how can we take that as gospel?
Well, shall I take... Oh, it's a good question, that. So this madam's just asked, how can we take the gospel as gospel? How can we take the Bible as gospel? And I think there's 3 reasons for that, okay? I'd say, number 1, because it's historically accurate. You know, archaeologists look at the Bible, look at the maps in the back of the Bible, and they say, right, apparently this happened at such and such a place, a big battle. Let's go there and start digging. We might find a few swords and stuff. And they do, and they end up in the museums. So the archaeologists believe in the historical account of the Bible, so it's historically accurate. The second thing is it's prophetically accurate. You know, the Bible predicts things, and they come true. There's 300 prophecies about Jesus, and every single one of them came true. And some of them were really specific, like, oh, they gambled for my cloak. I was pierced for our transgressions. Now, crucifixion wasn't even invented then. And it's even time specific, because it said the Messiah will be cut off 483 years from the order to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. Cyrus makes the order in the time of Daniel to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. And then what happens? Jesus walks through, and to the very week, Jesus walks into Jerusalem on a donkey, rides on a donkey. A few days later, he's crucified on a cross. So it's prophetically accurate. It predicts things, and things come true. And the other thing, how accurate it is, it's personally accurate. It speaks to us in a way that no other book does. It's better than any psychology book because it speaks to our heart. How does God know us so well? Because he made us. So, and it's like no other book. No other book.
Different books of religion, isn't there? With all different religions, all say something different. So which is right?
Well, yeah, so on.
But all the religions around the world, if you look at all the religions, from slavery to whatever, it all stems back from Abraham.
Yeah, you're right.
What religion it is, it all stems back to
Well, no, Hindus, Buddhists, they don't go back to Abraham. But you're right. There's 3 that go back to Abraham.
That plane's not going to drop on you. That's called faith, but you can't see gravity, can you?
Yeah, so you've got to have an element of faith. You're absolutely right. And faith is absolutely crucial because without faith, it's impossible to please God. Yeah, but the Christian's faith is different from that kind of blind faith that some people have where you just think, oh, hopefully things will be okay. The Christian's faith is more like a kind of absolute certainty of things that are going to happen to us at some point in the future. It's like a confident expectation